It's been 2 years nearly since I did my last freezer meal prep, and it did work really well for me during that postpartum stage. This has just taken a little bit of that mental load off me, knowing that I've got a few dinners in the freezer, I've got plenty of healthy snacks for myself and even for my children as well. The recipes I'm going to show you today are my lasagna and chicken curry, as well as some muffins, carrot cake, and chocolate protein slice. They are so delicious and so incredibly easy to do. These are all gluten, dairy, refined sugar free, and as we move through this video, I'm going to give you some tips as well as some of the nutritional benefits that you'll find in these recipes. I did keep all of these recipes still very easy because I kind of ran out of steam towards the end of my pregnancy and I just didn't want to spend a whole heap of time prepping. I broke this up over 2 days, but you could get it done all in the one hit if you wanted to. I think every postpartum freezer meal prep needs to have some healthy baked goods. They make it really easy to get your nice balance of protein with your carbohydrates. So if we're looking for a healthy snack, we might grab a piece of fruit, but what we really need is that protein and healthy fats in there as well to keep our blood sugar levels stable and to fuel us properly. So making some healthy muffins or a cake like this, it really helps to just give you that grab and go option that's really well balanced. The cinnamon and ginger are really great for digestion, and cinnamon is also really good for regulating blood sugar levels. The carrot gives us a little serve of veggies, and then instead of using regular flour, we use almond meal or spelt if you can tolerate it, or a combination of both, which is going to give you a higher protein content. You can make these into muffins instead of a cake. I just pour them into the pan because it's quicker. I'm also using my muffin tray for the muffins that we're making, but I do this with the carrot cake anyway. These freeze really well, so definitely make a double batch. You won't regret it. Actually, don't put any icing on it. You could if you wanted to, but I just kind of treat it more like a muffin that I cut into squares. Next up is the chocolate protein slice, and I love how many nutrients and different foods I can jam into this slice. Our seeds provide us with a great broad spectrum of minerals. Our oats are fantastic for breastfeeding, lactation, but also for an energy source and for our digestive system. If you can't tolerate oats, just swap it for some extra almond meal. I like to add a generous amount of unhulled tahini to this. This is a great source of calcium, which most mums need post-pregnancy, helping to remineralize, but also if you're breastfeeding. I also like to add in a good quality protein powder that has a wide range of extra vitamins and nutrients in there. Crush up some dark chocolate, or if you prefer raisins or something like that, dried fruit, you could do that too. For this one, I've actually saved a little bit of the chocolate that I'm going to melt down and drizzle on top after I've baked this and cooled it. If chocolate and nuts and this kind of combination of flavors isn't your thing, you might like my blueberry oat bars, which are very similar and equally delicious. They're in my other freezer meal prep video. The great thing about these though is that they defrost really quickly, so you can grab a couple out in the morning in anticipation for when you're going to need that one-handed snack during the day. And then one of my favorite staples is another banana berry version of muffins. I feel like you can't have a freezer meal prep without some of these in there. I love the nutrients that is in this recipe, starting with eggs, which is the ultimate mama food. They've got our choline, the iodine, the B vitamins for energy, and then mixing that in with our other mineral-rich ingredients just makes for a really nourishing muffin that you could even have for breakfast. And sometimes a muffin for breakfast is exactly what you need. You can add in whatever you like to these. They are so versatile. I've put in some dairy-free white chocolate chips, the frozen berries that are in my freezer, but you can really get creative with these. It's a good base recipe to have, and also a great one to do midweek or while you're cooking dinner, double batching them. They're just so simple, easy, and something that the whole family will love. So since becoming a mum, curries have become a staple in my house because it's one of the easiest ways to get a really flavor-filled meal with lots of veggies and my protein in such a short amount of time. I bake them in the oven, I put them in the slow cooker, I put them on the pan and sort of set and simmer. They are so incredibly easy. So if you like curries or any of my one tray bakes, I've got a lot of them, I do find sometimes it's easier to pre-chop your veggies like your sweet potato, pumpkin, greens, and stick them in a freezer bag. So then you can pull them out when you're doing your one tray, one dish dinners, and it cuts down all the cutting time. So you literally take a meal that was only going to take 10 minutes to prep anyway, and now it only takes 5. That's something I do particularly a lot through winter as well, when I'm doing a lot of my slow cooker meals or oven baked dishes. This is actually a very easy recipe to triple batch, because you're just cutting a whole heap of veggies, a whole heap of chicken, and then just pouring your curry paste, your tomatoes or passata, coconut milk, and you're done. My favorite way of having these is putting them in the slow cooker, because then I don't need to worry about defrosting them. But if you are going to pop them into your one dish, just take them out into the refrigerator overnight. If you like curries, you will become obsessed with oven baked curries like this. So easy. So lasagnas was something I actually really craved during this pregnancy, which I was thankful for because I did have a lot of nausea, and so being able to eat meat was a bit of a challenge. However, for some reason my body loved lasagna, so I created my own version. I prefer to use goat's cheese, but I also did some without goat's cheese in this one because I tend to go pretty strict with dairy free when I'm breastfeeding. However, you could use good quality cheese if that agrees with you. I like to load my lasagnas with heaps of veggies as well. This is a good one to actually make a couple of at a time, even if you're just doing this once a week, because it's easy to make a big bulk of mince, and then all you need to do is layer it up, which takes 5 minutes. So this is something that I'll often make the mince in the morning and then layer it all up into the lasagna when I'm ready for dinner. So I personally prefer to make them fresh. However, for the sake of convenience, a good old freezer lasagna is never going to be complained about in our house. So I'm going to make 3 of them. Red meat should definitely be a part of your diet postpartum. In my opinion, it has all of those essential nutrients that we really need for recovery, in particular iron and zinc. And it's also got a good source of our B vitamins in general, in particularly B12 and choline, which we need for really great energy. I'm using a bone broth powder instead of bone broth or stock. I don't have any in my freezer at the moment, so I just fill the empty jar of passata with bone broth powder, and so I get all of the passata out of the jar. Get some nutritional flakes in there as well, which are a good source of B12 and some other minerals that we want to focus on. This is a good example of a meal that you should add grated liver to. I haven't, because I've actually been taking beef liver capsules, so I don't feel like I need to add it in here. If you're going to do liver, which I highly recommend during the postpartum stage, this is a great meal to do it and disguise the flavor in it. So as you can see, I don't do a huge freezer meal prep. This is it. I just like to have a few grab and go dinners, some healthy snacks ready to go during that postpartum stage when I want to prioritize rest and recovery as much as possible. The main thing is just taking some of that mental load off and giving yourself some healthy options that you don't have to think about. That's what it's all about. After that, I'll go just straight back into my midweek meal prep, where I choose 1 or 2 recipes to prep. It takes me 5 to 10 minutes, and then maybe do one on the weekend if I feel like I need it. And then just focusing on all of my quick and easy recipes that can take me as little as 5 minutes to get done. I've honed this down to a fine art since becoming a mum. Having those quick options is absolutely essential for those days where you really don't feel like cooking, or you just don't have the hands-free time. Being able to get in the kitchen and know that you can make something in 5 to 10 minutes is absolute key to staying on track with your healthy eating during this stage. And there we go, we are done with our freezer meal prep. Hope you found it helpful. It's given you some good ideas. Head on over to my website if you want some more super quick and easy recipes, because remember, whatever you're doing for postpartum to help your recovery, you need to keep going. You need to keep doing that for that entire first year postpartum. We need to be equipping ourselves with quick and easy recipes, with ways that we can take care of ourselves during those seasons of sleep deprivation or times when we need a little bit extra TLC. Don't forget to check out my online class specifically for moms who have little bubs. We go into exactly how to take care of yourself, your nutrition, your nervous system, and putting together an amazing plan for you. Can't wait to share it all with you. And thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to see more of these videos.